Many of my ear training students find a lot of success learning songs by ear and doing transcriptions accurately when they follow a few principles and strategies. In this video, I'll give you 6 of them that you can put to use right away, and we'll demonstrate this as you learn 8 days a week by ear. This video covers the vocal melody, and then the next video that you're going to see covers the bass line and the chords. I'm Hans at tuneindigo.com. Let's begin. You can learn songs by ear on your instrument, whatever that is. And since everything that you play really needs to originate in your mind, you can do a lot of this just in your mind. You can use paper with whatever kind of notation system you want. It doesn't have to be standard notation. You can make one up. And here, we're going to use the Tune Indigo Whiteboard, which is a tool that you can use as we watch this. You just click the link in the description, and it'll open up the whiteboard with the lyrics to the song right there for you. So today, we're going to focus on 6 strategies, and they sit on top of some principles. So let's look at these principles real quick. The principles are that listening to whole chunks of music keeps music learning musical, rather than stopping and starting and recording a whole lot to catch little bits. You want to work with big chunks. Listening with the focus lightens our cognitive load by pointing our attention to one musical element at a time. We'll demonstrate that a lot in this video. And when you get to playing it on your instrument, playing slowly enough to pre-hear clearly helps us avoid practicing mistakes. And once a mistake is practiced, it's very hard to unlearn it. All right, so let's get to the strategies. Here they are all in a go. First, find the sound of do, which is the tonic, without trying to find it on your instrument. Preceding anything you do on your instrument by getting things anchored in your mind is really, really important. Once you find the sound of do, another strategy is to find just that note on your instrument, or identify what the pitch is. We'll do that using the whiteboard. The third strategy is to seek repeated patterns and repeated phrases so that you can use your tacit understanding of form to take cognitive load off your brain. These first 3 strategies sit on top of the principle of listening with a focus, 2 large chunks. So we're going to listen for the sound of do exclusively when we listen to it the first time. The second time, we're going to find that note do that we found while listening to a whole chunk. We're going to find that on our instrument with minimal guessing. And we're going to listen to it again, seeking patterns and repeated phrases, which takes the load off our mind, off our working memory, and allows us to notice same and different, be aware of when we're just repeating something, which is surprisingly helpful and also sometimes ignored. The fourth principle is to lead with your voice. Hear in advance of what you play using your voice. Your voice is the connection between your ear and your mind and your heart. And by using your voice with or without solfège really helps you anchor what you're hearing as you go. The 5th step, or the 5th strategy, is to translate what you hear to solfège, which you can do in your mind, and we're going to use the whiteboard for that. Finally, and most importantly, we're going to map what we hear to the piano keyboard in this case, and you can map it to your instrument, whatever that is. Now, this 6th step is really what we're trying to get done in the first place. All these other steps or these other strategies support getting it on your instrument correctly the first time, eliminating guessing and eliminating practicing mistakes. Okay, so now let's go through. I'm going to play a 2-part arrangement of 8 days a week right here on my keyboard. I really recommend that you listen to the original version if you don't already know it. It's so much better than anything I'm going to give you right here. But the version that I'm giving you is designed to help you learn. I've got the exact bass line that Paul McCartney plays on the recording and the melody that they sing as well. Now I'm going to play this 2-part arrangement, and we're going to focus on finding do. Now you might grab do right away. You might find the tonic note right away, which is your North Star. Might take you all the way through. If you get it right away, allow your listening to relax and enjoy what you're hearing holistically. So I'm going to play the whole verse. I'm going to play the upper part, which is what we're focusing on today, as well as the bass line, which we'll focus on in the next video. Here it comes. So we're focusing just on the sound of do, identifying do. Can you hear the sound of do? Can you imagine it? Can you sing it in a comfortable part of your vocal range? And here's the sound of do. Do. You might sing it in your range up here. Do. Or you might even be a super bass and sing it do right there. I sing it right here. Do. Now, I know what the note is. Let's go over to the whiteboard and grab it over here. Now, I've just added a new feature which allows us to use the whiteboard to find the key. We're going to hold the note in our voice, and then I'm going to click, or you're going to click if you're following along at whiteboard.tuneindigo.com. You're going to click this ear, and then we're going to hear the sound of the do that's default here, and then we're going to adjust. Watch. Da. Da, da, that's too low, so I'm going to go up a half step. Da, 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 there it is. There's our do. Okay, now I can look now over here with this little flyover that we know we're in the key of D, which is correct. We're in the key of D. There's our D. So now we have the sound of do. We've got the key of do. And now we're going to listen, focusing on the melody, kind of gently ignoring the bass, focusing on the melody. This time what we're focusing on is simply same and different. What is the same and what is different? All we're listening for. We're not trying to grab any specific notes, just comparing same and different. Now, if you know the song really well, you could do this in your mind like that. For purposes of this video, we're going to go a little slower. Here it comes. Did you notice any parts that are the same? I'm going to tell you what they are. So there's this little bit that's, ooh, I need your love, babe, is the same as what? Ooh, Now, to group these together in the whiteboard, I'm going to put a little vertical line at the beginning and ending of these little same parts. Ooh, I need your love, babe, is the same as hope you need my love, babe, which is the same as ain't got nothing but love, babe. Those are all the same as each other, right? So we've got, ooh, I need your love, babe. Hope you need my love, babe. Ain't got nothing but love, babe. All three of those are the same. Now we can also isolate something else. Guess you know it's true is the same as just like I need you. And then the last time we hear the ain't got nothing but love, babe, this little bit, 8 days a week, is not the same as those other two. So we've got that separated out. Now, you probably also noticed that hold me, love me happens twice. So again, I can isolate those. And as I do this, I'm making a note in my mind, oh, I don't have to learn the same thing twice. I can just learn it once and do it twice. So that takes a lot of load off. We've sought patterns and repeated phrases. That's basically just using form, right? We're using the study of same and different. And taking a moment to do that allows us to create a scaffold in our mind that, again, takes load off and allows us to be successful sooner. All right, leading with your voice, first on a neutral syllable. So I've been doing this whole time, right? Da, 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 da. Now I know that happens again, so I don't even have to do that again. I can go straight to da, 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 right? Da, 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 da. Mm-hmm. Almost like the Chimes song, but not quite. But it did trigger a little connection there in my mind. Now, we are going to now translate it to solfège. Now, as I do this, I have the scale D major in my mind. All of this is dramatically helped if you know your major and minor key signatures and your scales. And you don't even need to know them all. You just need to know the ones you're going to use. So if you know the scale of D, if you know the melody notes in the scale of D and the key of D, this is going to be a lot easier for you. So as I translate it to solfège, I'm going to kind of imagine the solfège, and I'm going to imagine the feeling of the notes on the keyboard as I go. Now again, as you get better in doing this, all these steps kind of collapse into a blink. Practicing them slowly helps you internalize them in a stress-free way. Okay, so now going back to the whiteboard, I know that the first note is me. Ooh, I need. Ooh, I need. Ooh, I need. I know how that goes. Mi, re, do, re, re, la. Now I make this la, I make it the low la by typing a comma after la. Ooh, I need your love, babe. And now I can check it here by clicking here. And now I can arrow key my way through. Ooh. There we go. So that sounds right to me. Guess you, la, do, la. La has a quality. Every time you go through this, where you assign lyrics to solfège notes, it further cements your awareness of what each note sounds like in the scale. Guess you, there's do again. No, there's la. There's fa. It's fa again. Fa, it's true. Notice I'm putting a little slash. I type the lyric, then a slash, and then the solfège. Hold me, re, do, re, re, la, la, do, whoops, do, fa, fa, mi, hold. Now, if you're new to this and mi doesn't just jump out at you, you can always refer back to do. Hold, does it sound like do? No. Where's do? We've retained it. Do, hold, do. Eventually, you'll know that sound is mi. Da. The most advanced way to hear this is just to hear mi as the da note within this key. If you're almost there, you can compare it to do, da, da. You'll hear that relationship, do, mi, as a thing that you know well. If you're not quite there yet, you can walk up by step, do, re, mi. We want to get out of walking up by step as soon as you can in your learning process, because that's not always going to be easy. It actually becomes harder to walk up by step, especially when you get into bigger leaps. Anyway, hold, mi, do, love, re, la. And then it's the same thing again. I know it's the same thing, so I don't even have to think. It's even the same lyrics, which makes it extra easy. Love, me, ain't. Now, this is the same as before, so you can visually look at what you've already had, or you can walk through it again. Mi, re, do, re, la. And then the tagline, 8 days a week. This is a great example of fa resolving to mi. Fa, fa, fa. And then it's really mi, re, do, 8 days a week. So we can put our slash and we can go mi, re, do. There we go. And now we can check the whole thing to make sure the sound is correct in our ear. There you go. Okay, now we're going to put it onto the instrument. So now I'll play it. Now, here's the key of D. And so I can just go through a little warm-up where I go do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. I can do it in my mind, right? Just thinking these different notes. Recognizing here's mi, here's do, here's so. This is our tonic triad, and it's a really important shape. So now I'm going to go mi, re, do, re, la. And now I get to put into practice the principle of playing slowly enough to pre-hear each note or each chunk as you get more improvement. So here's mi, re, do, re. I can hear all that. La, do, fa, mi. And then that repeats. So now I have to work a little less hard. I'm acknowledging that I know it, and then I'll do it again. Then hold me, love me. So we're thinking mi, do, re, la twice. Again. Finally, the last phrase, the same as the first, except for the little ending. Re, do, re, la. Fa, mi, re, do. So just to review, you find the sound of do, you find the note do, by whatever simple means you can, avoiding guessing as much as possible. You're seeking patterns and repeated phrases, which means you're listening in big chunks. You're not just going along one note at a time, stopping and starting your recording. That's fine, but over time you lose a little of the joy because you're out of time. We want to be in time, swimming in the river with the music. Okay, we led with our voice. We got it internalized on our voice, which allowed us to translate it into solfège. And then, since we know the key of D, we mapped it onto our instrument. If you want to dig a little deeper into these and a few other complementary strategies with some very, very simple repertoire to use as demonstration, I've got a 5-lesson email course. It's totally free. Just click the link in the description and it'll take you to that page. I think you're going to like it. I'd love to hear what you think of it once you go through it. If it helps you, especially if it helps you, and especially if it doesn't help you, because I want to help you. And if the things that I make for you don't help you, it helps for me to know that I can have a conversation with you and help you even more, or help you at all. In the next video, we'll cover the bass line and the chords of the verse. Thanks a lot for listening.